we have some absolutely breaking news. Six Flags, one of the biggest theme park chains over in the USA, has announced all of its brand new additions for its theme park chain in the 2020-24 season. This includes a collection of new rides, some re-themes, some new experiences, and all importantly some brand new roller coasters coming to two much needed parks within the chain. Welcome to this video, and today we're going to be talking about all of what's coming new to the 2024 season across the Six Flags chain. If you enjoy the video, please do give it a like, it massively helps out. Subscribe to the channel for more, and welcome to Coasternaut for today's video. So then, let's go through this announcement video that has just been released by the Six Flags website, and we'll go through it park by park. We'll start with Six Flags over Texas. This park has the world's first log flume, for anyone that didn't know, called the El Rio Lento, and this was actually, like I say, the world's first log flume. And it's actually now going to become one of the world's longest log flumes. And what they're going to do is, they're actually going to add a new lift hill to the ride and two big drops, including what is being quoted a steep nosedive drop. And I think this is going to be fantastic. You know, we don't see many log flumes nowadays. Rather than building a new one, they're choosing to embrace the history of their current log flume, the El Rio Lento, which is the world's first log flume. Like I say, that's such an important attraction. You know, they're not going to want to remove that. There are more modern water rides out there now, such as water coasters, but they're clearly embracing the history, and they want to, you know, acknowledge that probably a new water ride, a new modern improved water ride is needed, but they want to pay homage to this old classic within the park, and they don't want to remove it. So what I think here is actually really unique. It's really innovative by adding a whole new section to the ride, including, like I say, what is supposed to be including at least one giant drop and a new lift hill. So that's going to, you know, prolong the ride experience. It's probably going to mean that more logs can be put on the track, which will increase throughput. And like I said, I think that's a really good addition for over Texas, and Texas as well, really warm state. You know, it's important to have those water rides, and I think that's a fantastic addition. And before I get into the other parks, it is just fantastic that Six Flags are now starting to put some big investment back into their parks. 2022 and 2021 under Salim Basool, the new CEO of Six Flags, it was a really rough few years. You know, he sort of tried to change philosophy and not exactly add many additions to the park. He thought that would increase revenue by, you know, making that, you know, they're going to get more money in because they're not spending as much into the parks, therefore the profit margins will be higher, and I don't think that went down well with a lot of fans. You know, people didn't want to go to the parks if there wasn't new additions, so I'm happy that he's gone back on his ways and is adding all these new additions to the parks. And if I'm honest, I think Six Flags, based on what we currently know, has a better outlook for 2024 than the Cedar Fair chain does, and most people normally prefer Cedar Fair. Six Flags is, you know, deemed a budget chain, the franchise chain full of DC rides and everything, superheroes and villains. But I think so far, based on what we know, this could be a very good year for Six Flags, possibly better than what we get from Cedar Fair. So with that being said, let's get into the next park, which is staying in Texas. We'll stay at Six Flags Fiesta Texas now, and this is an overall expansion of the DC Universe land, and they're including a new Cyber Revolution ride, a Shazam Tower of Eternity, which is a rotating family drop tower, the Metropolis Transit Authority, which is a new sort of a viewing platform from what I gather, and they're including two Art Deco covered monorail style trains, which will be really interesting for that Transit Authority ride. So 3 new rides, an expansion of the DC Universe land. Obviously DC, similar to Marvel, great in terms of publicity for the park and bringing in money for the park. So again, fantastic that that's going to come in, and you know, we mock the DC franchise for being overused at the Six Flags chains, but you know, they always do it well to an extent where, you know, it's always bright colours, so you know that's going to at least attract children in, and families, which families are the customers at parks which spend the most money. It's not us enthusiasts, we don't go to parks and spend that much money. It's the families that go there, they buy the merchandise, they buy the food. So including an offering like this will massively, in my opinion, probably increase the money that is obtained by the park. We'll go to Six Flags St. Louis now, and we're going to get the Joker Carnival of Chaos, which is a record height of 17 stories tall, and apparently it can reach speeds up to 75 miles per hour. So this is going to be a fantastic new ride. You know, it's not exactly a unique ride. These rides are sort of at most theme parks across the world, especially in America across the Cedar Fair and Six Flags chains. But this is something which isn't at St. Louis, and you know, they can feature a lot of guests on these type of rides, so it can include a higher output for the park. Six Flags Great America now is getting Sky Striker, which is a giant pendulum attraction, which again stands 17 stories tall and has a top speed of nearly 75 miles an hour. So this is a very similar addition to St. Louis. and stands 172 feet in the air. So once again, similar to St. Louis, not a very unique addition, but an addition that will improve the park, will improve the flat ride offering at the park, and once again increases the throughput. You know, a lot of these is the same thing, but you know, why change what's not broken? It might not be unique, but we've always said that about the Six Flags chains. Most of their parks don't offer that much different from each other. You know, that you tend to find the same rides at a lot of Six Flags parks, but if they work, they work. And I think once again, if Great America doesn't have a ride like this, then you know, it's not going to be a bad thing, is it? And we're now on to sort of the 3 new coasters that are coming to the chain, and that is a fantastic thing to see 3 new coasters coming to the chain. And we'll start with the world's first in Six Flags Over Georgia. This is getting the world's first Ultra Surf coaster from Intamin. This is similar to the Mack Power Splashes, such as Pulsar at Wallaby, Belgium. However, this is almost a mix between a Mack Power Splash and an Intamin Shuttle U-Loop coaster. And you know, on those Intamin coasters, similar to the one that's at American Dream Mall, you sit in a train where you rotate as you go up and down the pipeline, and this is going to be sort of hybriding that sort of train with the Mack Power Splash concepts. This is a water ride where you're going to go, you know, sort of shuttle up and down with an airtime hill in the middle, but whilst doing that layout, you're going to be spinning. So, you know, this is going to be really cool. You're going to have some great airtime, I think, over that airtime hill in the middle, and the weightlessness that you're going to get at the top of both of those spikes while spinning. I think this could actually be a really cool concept, and I'm glad to see Six Flags going with the world's first, and also working with Intamin again. Could this be the start of Intamin bringing some of their bigger coasters to the Six Flags chains? That would be really interesting. Could we be seeing some launch coasters coming to the Six Flags chain? That would be a really fantastic thought, and I think I'll do a video on that, so stick around to the channel and subscribe to see that video in the future. Six Flags Great Escape, a park that absolutely desperately needed a coaster. They haven't had a new coaster in so long, and they are also getting a Gravity Group family wooden coaster. This is the first time that the Six Flags chain has worked with Gravity Group, which is another fantastic prospect to see the chain working with a new coaster manufacturer. Gravity Group have become really well known for some of their fantastic family wooden coasters. You know, they're not just like some other junior coasters, they're absolutely full of airtime and full of great transitions and turns, so that, you know, they can be enjoyed by everyone, enthusiasts and younger guests as well. You know, it does provide a junior coaster experience, but whilst also having enough forces to satisfy older guests and enthusiasts. And I think, once again, for a park that doesn't get much investment, have a nearly 40 miles per hour coaster with some tight turns, hills, I think this will be a fantastic little ride for this park up in the northern New York area. And finally now, we're going to go to what is probably the biggest and standout new addition for the 2024 Six Flags season, and that is Six Flags Great America in New Jersey. Celebrating its 50th anniversary, there are rumours it's going to get a Giga coaster. That hasn't unfortunately happened, but maybe that will be pushed back, and we'll see that in the future. What they are getting is a new coaster, and this is the Flash Vertical Velocity, a Intamin Super Boomerang, I think they're calling this. And this is going to feature nearly 60 miles per hour, top speed, 180 degree twisted drop, 0 G-roll, and it's going to also include at the park a new sort of safari glamping experience, which will be a really cool sort of safari getaway that includes spa services, VIP dining, and a lovely little safari sunset resort and spa. So that's a great addition to the overall sort of, you know, experience that you can get at the park, make it more of an overnight stay, a weekend break sort of thing. But that coaster is going to be really fantastic. There's only currently one of these operating, which is over at a park in China, but this will be really cool. You know, a multi-launch coaster. You know, it might not be the Giga you wanted, it might not have the best throughput, which is, you know, potentially a worry for a park like Great Adventure, one of the bigger parks in the chain, but this looks like a truly fantastic coaster. You know, another new modern day Vekoma coming to the US, which just shows how important this is to see Vekoma coming to the US again. This will be a really fantastic addition to the park, and I'm very glad this is coming. I hope this is, you know, again, the start of Six Flags starting to include these new Vekoma coasters at their parks. Could we now be seeing Vekoma and Intamin coasters popping up more and more often in the Six Flags chain? I think this is a truly fantastic addition, and I hope this is the start of a special bond between Six Flags and Vekoma. But what do you make of the 2024 new additions to the Six Flags chain? I'd love to hear down below. What's your favourite new addition, and do you not like any of the additions that have been made to the parks? Could you see Six Flags have making some better options? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback down below. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a like. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.